A woman sexually assaulted by a former Sussex Police Detective Inspector paedophile, Dominic O'Brien, while he was on bail has told the BBC she was failed by the police and the courts. She spoke out as her attacker, Dominic O'Brien, was jailed for just 3 years and is now out and about looking for a new victim. The Sussex Police Detective Inspector, aged 55, was found guilty of 4 counts of sexual assault against her. In an interview with BBC News, his victim, Lia Dumbrill, relinquished the anonymity afforded to victims of sexual offences. Lia, aged 16 at the time of her assault, stated, "It profoundly disgusts me that he has evaded accountability for such an extended period." Dominic O'Brien perpetrated an assault against her in 2019 while he was released on bail for a separate sexual crime. Lia Dumbrill stated that, due to recurring panic episodes, she found it difficult to concentrate on her college coursework and ultimately withdrew. 2 years earlier, he was apprehended by an undercover Leicestershire police officer for transmitting sexual communications online expressing a desire to rape an 11-year-old girl. In 2020, he received a 6-month suspended sentence for the offence. However, his transgressions extended even further back. In 2006, Dominic O'Brien held the position of Detective Inspector with Sussex Police. He was suspended from the police department due to inappropriate messages sent to the 14-year-old daughter of a murder victim whose case he was investigating. Dominic O'Brien resigned from the police days prior to a disciplinary hearing, rendering external actions against him impossible. Sussex Police conducted a criminal investigation, however, prosecutors opted not to pursue charges. Ms. Dumbrill contends that a chance to thwart Dominic O'Brien was overlooked years ago. "I think the police were probably scared to have one of their own put into the system," she said. "They want to protect their own. Because he was a police officer, he thought he was untouchable. She believes he should have been dealt with much earlier. It's frustrating, because if they had dealt with it, then that's years of people not having anything happen to them. My life would be completely different." Despite reforms which are supposed to have improved the system for victims, Ms. Dumbrill, who is now 20 years old, found the process leading to Dominic O'Brien's conviction grueling. "It makes the victim feel like they're the one being questioned," she said. "I felt like I was the criminal even in court with the defense lawyers calling you liars and things like that. It's horrible. I understand why people don't do it. And it's hard because when you're going through traumatic experiences, you want to block it out as much as you can." In her victim impact statement, Ms. Dumbrill described how the trauma of the assaults had led to her dropping out of college and leaving her local area. "I would have panic attacks when I saw older males around the college," she said. "The panic attacks became so frequent I would have to leave my lessons." But she feels vindicated after what she believes are the previous failures to put Dominic O'Brien in prison. "I'm glad that I managed to get him convicted. I'm glad that I managed to stop him, so many people didn't. Grown adults saw what he was doing and left it alone, whereas me as the child had to decide to take it further. That's the first and foremost important thing, is that he didn't get away with it this time." Sexual offence victims face longest ever court waits. During the sentencing at Brighton Crown Court, Judge David Rennie referred to Dominic O'Brien's former role as a police officer, saying his time in the police meant he understood better than most the trauma of sexual assault. "You saw her as a plaything from whom you could get some kicks," he said. "Your serious previous conviction and her obvious vulnerability are aggravating factors." Lia Dumbrill said she found the court process grueling as she gave evidence during Dominic O'Brien's trial. A nonsensical and self-serving statement from the idiots at Sussex Police said, Dominic O'Brien resigned from Sussex Police 15 years ago whilst under investigation. The allegations made against him were fully investigated at the time, but the Crown Prosecution Service, CPS, determined that there would be no criminal prosecution. "Police officers who abuse their position of trust have no place in policing, and we are committed to proactively rooting them out and ensuring victims feel confident to come forward."